What happens when millions are spent chasing a dream and the dream never delivers? From flawless pedigrees to jaw-dropping auction prices, these yearlings were billed as the next Secretariat. But fate had other plans. In this countdown, we reveal the top 10 million-dollar babies in horse racing history and why most of them became expensive cautionary tales. Stick around till number 1. It's a sale that shook the world and still holds the record today. At number 10, we open the gates with Jalil. Back in the summer of 1984, the Keeneland July Selected Yearling Sale saw fireworks when Jalil, a striking colt foaled on January 25, 1983, commanded an astronomical price tag of $7.1 million, equivalent to over $21.5 million today. This regal purchase was brokered by agent Bruce Hundley for Ralph C. Wilson Jr., and sold to none other than Sheikh Mohammed, whose pursuit of bloodstock excellence was just beginning. Jalil was sired by Maidan Dancer, a global titan of breeding known for revolutionizing the thoroughbred industry. His dam, Fabulo Jane, came from a deep prolific family, herself producing 14 foals including doubles partner and Fabulo Dancer, and sharing lineage with English champion Ajdal. Expectations soared, as Jalil's perfect storm of elite pedigree and premium auction setting made him one of the most talked about yearlings of his generation. Though detailed confirmation records are scarce, his price tag alone suggested a near-flawless physical specimen. But while dreams on paper ran wild, reality on the track told a quieter story. With only 1 win and 9 starts, Jalil's racing career failed to ignite, accumulating a modest $5,000 in earnings. He competed on both UK and North American circuits, yet never lived up to his blockbuster billing. Transitioning to stud, Jalil sired numerous winners like Hangover Square, Classic Sky, and Dollar Gamble, but never produced elite-level stakes horses. Despite standing at stud, Jalil remains a sobering reminder that even the most expensive yearlings born of racing royalty can falter. As a racehorse, he underdelivered. As a stallion, he was solid yet unspectacular. His name is etched in auction history, but Jalil stands as a prime example of the risks that come with investing millions in potential that never materializes on the racetrack. Holding the number 9 spot with an explosive sprinting legacy is Agd Doll. Agd Doll's story began at the 1985 Keeneland July sale, where he sparked an intense bidding war that pushed his price to $7.5 million, adjusted to nearly $21.9 million in 2024 dollars. Initially bought back by his breeder, Ralph C. Wilson Jr. of Oxford Stable, Agd Doll was then privately sold to Sheikh Mohammed, who had briefly bowed out upon realizing he was bidding against the breeder himself. This bay colt, complete with 3 white socks and head-turning presence, was a product of Maidan Dancer, the epoch-defining stallion, and native partner, a race mare of elite ability and a proven producer. From the outset, Agd Doll was a walking headline, perfectly bred, physically stunning, and cloaked in sky-high expectations. Nicknamed Handsome, which also mirrors the meaning of Ajdal. In Arabic, he began training under the esteemed Sir Michael Stout and quickly fulfilled early promise. He was unbeaten as a juvenile, capturing the prestigious Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes, and by age 3, despite a faltering classic campaign, he reinvented himself as a champion sprinter. Wins in the Craven Stakes, July Cup, William Hill Sprint Championship, and Vernon Sprint Cup crowned him Europe's top sprinter in 1987. Unlike many million-dollar yearlings, Ajdal delivered emphatically on the track. Unfortunately, this stud career was cut heartbreakingly short. Retired to Dalham Hall Stud at a hefty fee of £35,000, his progeny failed to match his brilliance, with only Cezanne making a ripple. In August 1988, tragedy struck when Ajdal suffered a fatal leg fracture at just 4 years old. In hindsight, while his impact as a stallion was minimal, Ajdal's dominance on the turf justified his hefty price. He remains a classic case where elite pedigree met real racing success, proving that sometimes million-dollar babies really do fly, if only for a fleeting, glorious moment. Breaking into the number 8 spot is Mr. Seiguchi. In 2004, the Keeneland September yearling sale witnessed history as Mr. Seiguchi became the most expensive yearling ever sold at that sale, commanding a stunning $8 million, equivalent to about $13.3 million today. Consigned by Lane's End, this handsome colt was purchased by Fusao Seiguchi, the same owner behind Kentucky Derby winner Fusaichi Pegasus. Mr. Seiguchi's pedigree was nothing short of sensational. Sired by Stormcat, one of the most commercially dominant stallions of his era, and out of Welcome Surprise, a daughter of Weekend Surprise and a half-sister to the legendary AP Indy. This made him a direct descendant of some of the most elite bloodlines in American racing history. Despite a vet report noting a chip in the hind ankle, trainer Bob Baffert dismissed it, praising the colt's clean legs and commanding physical presence. With such heritage and build, expectations soared. But like many million-dollar babies, fate had its own plans. Mr. Seiguchi raced just 4 times, scoring 2 wins and 2 seconds, with earnings of $85,800, before a tibia injury ended his racing ambitions prematurely. Despite showing elite speed, blazing 6 furlongs in 108.53, he never had the chance to run in stakes company. At stud, he stood at Hillendale Farm and later Park Stud in Canada, where he sired the Woodbine Stakes winner Rose and Shine. However, his influence as a stallion was modest and he was eventually pensioned. Galloping into number 7 is Imperial Falcon. In 1984, the Keeneland July Selected Yearling Sale became the stage for a jaw-dropping bidding war that ended with Imperial Falcon being sold for an astonishing $8.25 million, equivalent to nearly $25 million in today's dollars. Bred and consigned by the famed Winfields Farm, he was snapped up by Robert Sangster, one of the most influential owners in global racing history. A son of the breed-shaping Northern Dancer, Imperial Falcon had royalty in his blood. His dam, Ballade, was a standout broodmare who also produced Devil's Bag and Glorious Song, making Imperial Falcon a half-brother to multiple champions. Physically, he was said to be a model of conformation, strong, balanced, and exuding presence. The buzz around him was electric. With that kind of lineage and price tag, many expected a Triple Crown contender in the making. Sadly, his racing career was cut short after just 3 starts, where he notched 2 wins, including the Ballysack Stakes, and earned just $13,400. A training injury tied to an earlier foot issue dashed all hopes of classic success. Although his time on the track was brief, Imperial Falcon was given a second chance at impact through the breeding shed. He stood at farms across the U.S., siring a handful of stakes winners like Blockade 1, and Really Rowan. Number 6, Al Nimma. At the 2013 Tattersall's October yearling sale, a bay filly named Al Nimma rewrote the record books, selling for 5 million guineas, roughly $8.4 million or $11.4 million today. She became the most expensive yearling filly ever sold, a true statement of intent by her buyers, Al Shakab Racing, as they entered the European racing elite. Bred by Lodge Park Stud, Al Nimma was royally bred. She was a full sister to Epsom Oaks winner Waz, both by the mighty Galileo and out of Alluring Park, herself from a family rich with black-type performers. Buyers praised her conformation, saying she shared key characteristics with her classic winning sibling. With Galileo's global dominance as a sire and a proven dam line, Al Nimma was expected to compete and win at the highest levels. She joined the stable of the legendary André Fabre in France, and expectations soared. After winning her debut at Chantilly in 2014, it looked like she might live up to the hype. But in her next 6 starts, she failed to win again. While she managed to place in 2 Group 3s, her overall earnings stalled at £44,000, and she never threatened in Group 1 company. By September 2015, her racing career was over. However, her pedigree ensured she retained value as a broodmare. Her foals, including January, have begun to make their own mark, and her presence still bolsters her dam's page at top sales. Al Nimma's legacy lies not in wins, but in potential, still valued for her elite genetics. Landing in the number 5 spot is Plavius, a dark bay brown colt who was sold for $9.2 million at the 2006 Keeneland September yearling sale, a figure that would equate to $14.3 million today. Purchased by Godolphin, one of the world's premier racing operations, Plavius arrived with sky-high expectations. Bred by Montecule Farms, he was sired by the legendary Danzig, a Northern Dancer son who became one of the most influential sires in modern bloodstock history. His dam, Sharp Minister, had a track record of producing high-priced yearlings, suggesting consistent quality. Physically, Plavius impressed observers with a very good-looking build and a strong, balanced frame. For a powerhouse like Godolphin to invest so heavily in him spoke volumes about the confidence in his potential. But once again, the racetrack had other plans. Despite making 18 starts, Plavius won just twice and earned a modest £15,000 in total. Most of his racing took place in the UAE, with his final start coming in 2010. By 2013, he had been gelded, and his brief, unremarkable career faded into obscurity. Records surrounding him are surprisingly inconsistent, a frustrating footnote that underscores the challenge of tracing the full picture of some high-priced flops. Plavius never became the stakes-winning machine his price suggested, instead serving as yet another cautionary tale in the world of premium yearlings. Coming in at number 4 is Jalil, a royally bred colt who sold for a staggering $9.7 million at the 2005 Keeneland September yearling sale, worth about $15.6 million today. Bred by Martin and Pamela Wygod and consigned by Mill Ridge Farm, Jalil was bought by Godolphin Racing, signaling yet another headline purchase by Sheikh Mohammed. He was a son of Stormcat, a two-time North American Sire of the Year, and a grandson of Northern Dancer. His dam, Tranquility Lake, was a dual Grade 1 winner by Rahi, making him a full brother to Aftermarket, a top-class turf runner. Jalil's pedigree was pure gold, and his hefty price tag suggested he also had the physique to match. Buyers at Keeneland lauded such colts for their scope, balance, and athleticism. Trained by Said bin Surur, Jalil began his career in England, showing modest form as a 2-year-old. He hit his stride in Dubai at 4, winning 3 consecutive races, including the Group 2 Maktoum Challenge in 2008. That win earned him a place in the $6 million Dubai World Cup, where he finished a disappointing 8th. He raced again in Dubai in 2011, but never returned to winning form. His final record stood at 7 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and earnings of $327,000. Although respectable, it fell far short of the investment. Jalil was later exported to China for stud duty, part of Godolphin's effort to grow the Chinese thoroughbred industry. His foals made little impact, and he passed into private ownership by 2013. In third place is the cautionary tale of Snafy Dancer, the first yearling in history to break the $10 million barrier, selling for $10.2 million in 1983, which equates to a jaw-dropping $32.2 million today. The bidding war at the Keeneland Select Sale was electric, opening at $1 million and skyrocketing as Sheikh Mohammed's Aston Upthorpe stud secured the prized colt. Foaled on February 25, 1982, Snafy Dancer was by none other than Northern Dancer, arguably the most influential sire in thoroughbred history. His dam, My Bupers, had already produced multiple stakes winners, including Tis Juliet and Stella Madrid, both Grade 1 winners. With a pedigree this elite and a body reportedly oozing class and balance, Snafy Dancer was seen as a cornerstone for Godolphin's future stallion roster. But what followed was one of the most infamous letdowns in racing history. Snafy Dancer never raced. He was reportedly so slow in training it would have been embarrassing to even enter him in a maiden. Worse still, his breeding career was just as disastrous. After just 2 seasons at stud, he was found to be severely subfertile, siring only 4 foals, 3 of which raced, with no notable results. From record-breaking purchase to a complete non-factor in racing and breeding, Snafy Dancer's story is the ultimate example of how pedigree, physique, and price can all mean nothing without performance. He became a $10.2 million caution sign, flashing a warning at every yearling sale since. No matter how flawless the bloodlines or how dazzling the conformation, there are no guarantees in the game of horse racing. At number 2, we spotlight Maidan City, the record-breaking colt who sold for $11.7 million at the 2006 Keeneland September yearling sale, setting a then unmatched benchmark for the prestigious auction. Bred by JFB Stable and purchased by Godolphin through John Ferguson, this bay colt was by the elite stallion King Mambo, himself a Group 1 winner and global sire sensation. His dam, Crown of Crimson, descended from Seattle Slew, bringing even more elite North American bloodlines into play. Though her own racing career was modest, her pedigree helped complete an exceptionally marketable mating. His very name, Maidan City, symbolized opulence, like the sprawling Dubai district that now shares his title. Placed under Said bin Surur, the colt's career was underwhelming at best. Depending on the source, he recorded either 1 win from 18 starts, with career earnings as low as $14,795. He never won a stakes race and struggled to leave a meaningful mark. His breeding career remained shrouded in confusion, with some sources mistakenly attributing progeny stats that actually belonged to other horses, such as Plavius. What is certain is that Maidan City never produced a notable runner, and his name today is more often linked to Dubai's iconic racecourse than to personal achievement. Taking the top spot is Agd Dancer, the colt who shattered records in 1985 by selling for $13.1 million at the Keeneland July Selected Yearling Sale, equivalent to about $38.3 million in today's dollars. In a dramatic bidding war that captivated the racing world, Joss Collins signed on behalf of a global powerhouse syndicate featuring Stavros Niarchos, Susan Magnier, Vincent O'Brien, Robert Sangster, and Sheikh Mohammed. With a pedigree straight out of a dream, Agd Dancer was sired by Nijinsky, the 1970 British Triple Crown winner and son of the Great Northern Dancer. His dam, My Charmer, was already revered as the mother of Seattle Slew, the 1977 U.S. Triple Crown champion. This made Agd Dancer a half-brother to royalty, fueling the frenzy around his sale. While confirmation notes were scarce, his astronomical price reflects a horse that embodied every visual and genetic ideal in the business. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, Agd Dancer had a brief but respectable career on the track. From 5 starts, he won 2 Group 2 races in Ireland, the Gallinhill Stakes and Darrenstown Stud Derby Trial, and placed second in the Group 1 Grand Prix de Paris, earning $152,000. Though solid, this did not meet the soaring expectations his sale created. His legacy was stronger at stud. Agd Dancer sired 37 stakes winners, including Seattle Rhyme and Pike Place Dancer, a Kentucky Oaks winner. He stood in Kentucky, Ireland, Japan, and Germany, and became a respected international sire. Agd Dancer passed away in 2007 at age 23. While he fell short of becoming a legend on the track, his respectable stud career ensured he wasn't a total flop. Still, for $13.1 million, many expected a world champion, not just a solid sire. His story captures the very essence of racing's gamble. The most expensive horse ever sold, but not the greatest to run. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more compelling content on the world of horse racing. Thanks for watching.